Now let us continue and I give the floor to Dr. Vilius Ivanauskas. Well, by presenting this person, we should underline several things. First, this is the person who worked closely on the nomenclature of the Soviet Union. Later on, the John Project Sojus and the history of the Sojus became also one of the objects of his research. On the 2nd of December, Dr. Ivanauskas will present his report on nomenclature as well. This means that a person will present the conclusion of the monography of his thesis. Now I give the floor to Dr. Vilius Ivanauskas. Good afternoon. Today I will just present a very narrow aspect of my research. I will speak about the nomenclature and privileges. In the social cultural area, the nomenclature is related to privileges. The research was made on nomenclature and people had close contacts with such people. And the results show that these people were not very much exceptional, but they had special circumstances and special possibilities, shops and other facilities. The privileges were available only for the high-ranking representatives of nomenclature. This included business trips abroad, furniture, flats, tickets to concerts, ability to purchase different products.
Iš esmės, mes į atskirimas tarp nomenklatūros ir kitų sovietinių visuomenės grupių, neįtraukiant galios santykio ir kalbant apie tą atskirimą kaip į socialinę tapatybę veikiantį.
Well, when we speak about the difference between these people and ordinary people, meant not only power,
negalinčiai patenkinti tiek esminių poreikių, tiek noro kartais įsigyti prabangos prekių ir paslaugų. Nors ideologinėme lauke sovietinė sistema buvo projektuojama.
Though the Soviet Union was projected as the system that was favorable towards the working class, but in reality, the examples of nomenclature actually oppose this theory.
Valdžioje esančių asmenų grupės uždarumą ir skirtinumą, darinti šiuos asmenis panašesnius, netgi, pavyzdžiui, į vakarietiško tipo elitą, nei į proletariato interesus ginančią
And some of the researchers point that nomenclature of the Soviet period was more similar to the higher classes of the Western world rather than the ordinary people or the working class of the Soviet Union. The researcher Veblen says that depicts the differences between the different social classes and defines the nomenclature as a certain exceptional class of people which has not only the power but many more opportunities if compared to other people. Well, with the development of the Soviet Union, the shift towards the the shift towards the consumer goods from the military production made a huge influence on the situation of the nomenclature. The speaker is too fast. The interpreters cannot interpret the speaker. Could you ask the speaker to be more slow?
Apibrėžia šį būvį kaip įsivaizduojamų vakarų. Nors ir gerai nežinant, kas yra tie vakarai ir kaip jie gyvena, tačiau visuotinai pripažįstant, sutinkant, jog mados prekės ir paslaugos yra kur kas aukštesnio lygio nei sovietiniai standartai. Ir įdomu tai, jog nepaisant deklaratyvios retorikos, toks įsitikinimas buvo akivaizdus ir nomenklatūros tarpe.
In the Soviet system, the products that could not be so easily acquired were very few, and therefore competition existed in this area. And there were certain limitations on people. Even if people had money, they could not purchase certain types of goods. They were seldom available in certain shops, and they were bought out very quickly. The types of the products, deficit products, varied from time to time. They could include food or clothes and shoes. Transport as well as housing also were included into the group of deficit products. Such products also included ability to go to health resorts and to tickets to cinemas and concerts. Lithuanian nomenclature was exceptional in terms of its ability to purchase certain types of products and to get certain types of services. We can talk about two lines of privileges. First was formal, through the formal channels, and the second line was illegal, where different services and products were acquired through certain illegal channels and in illegal ways. I'm speaking about Lithuania. I'm using the data that was collected in 7 years. These include different observations, interviews with nomenclature representatives and people who had close contacts with them. Now, if we speak about legal privileges, well, in general, you know all those desirable goods and services that were available for the nomenclature. These were transport, special shops and purchases, different household facilities, health insurance, health care, remunerations. Well, if we speak about transport, for example, high-ranking nomenclature representatives used transport not only for their work, but also for their personal needs. Certain business cars were used by high-ranking nomenclature representatives. High-ranking people could be deciphered not only according to the vehicles that they drove in, but also according to the number plates which bear the title LIT. In the later Soviet period, it became important to have not only a business car, but also a personal car. Very often, when we speak about nomenclature, specialized shops was something that we remember. Such people had the opportunity to buy products in such shops. For example, a son of one of the civil servants of the Soviet times recalls that his parents could buy different deficit products in specialized shops, which had different better quality products or products that were not available for ordinary people. And also, such goods could be ordered from a shop by telephone. One of the ministers recalls that there were special shops that could be offered different clothing, offered better quality clothing, and different other products. The minister also recalls of having a sewer who could, a tailor who could also make clothes for a minister. Speaking about health care, special facilities and special hospital units were available for nomenclature representatives. Now the issue of accommodations and different villas. Nomenclature representatives populated the most posh areas of different cities. Therefore, specialist elitist districts were formed. A place was very important as a place where a circle of representatives of nomenclature could meet and could socialize. However, different limitations were introduced on villas. But even the limitations were being overcome. Villas sometimes could not be presented as private property, but could be presented as the property for public needs. And for this reason, limitations could hardly be introduced.
Pavyzdžiui, Palangos kurorte poilsio namus turėjo LKP-CK, ministrų tarybos aparatas.
In different health resorts in limited areas of Lithuania, members of the Politburo of the Central Committee of the Communist Party of Lithuania could live. Representatives of nomenclature also received higher remuneration. They were able to go abroad. They were able to join different hunting clubs and other clubs. And the system of privileges actually was something that was available not only for the representatives of the nomenclature, but also to their relatives and family members. Another aspect is the different privileges through the illegal channel. This is the second line of privileges. These privileges could be attained by people because they occupied certain positions, high positions.
Ir jis mini, kad lengviau gaunamos knygos padėdavo nemažai spręsti problemų, netgi atlikti tam tikrus mainus. Nomenklatūros pozicija tapo svarbiu ištekliu siekiant vartojimo.
The position of the nomenclature became an important part in the consumer world. And different types of nomenclature representatives worked on the basis of exchange. For example, the heads of different food factories could exchange their privileges with those of the heads of other factories. That was the logic called the blood in the Soviet Union.
Brežnevo asmeninius užrašus šiuo metu nagrinėjantis istorikas Viktor Döninghaus
Victor Döninghaus, who is analyzing Brezhnev's letters, and he says that Brezhnev could get certain products for his family and for his relatives through a certain illegal channel and through the blood system. The main orientation of the nomenclature was a better quality, which meant that the quality meant for ordinary people was not satisfactory. This also could lead to speculation and to some other abuses of the economy.
Tiems pornografams šaltinis buvo ne konkreti įmonė ar šaka, bet visa respublika, todėl jie turėdami pagrindinės privilegijas, jau jiem nereikėjo papildomai tiek kombinuoti ir rizikuoti. Aukštas postas neretai sąlygojo ir būtų paskirstimą.
Could also mean that an illegal distribution could be used.
Užrašiusi į eilę automobilių gauti laukiu ilgai, žinau, kad teks laukti, sąžiningai stebėjau, ar eilė juda. Per kelius metus atrodo šiek tiek pasistimėjau, bet pastebėjau, jog
one of the persons who was waiting in the queue to be able to acquire a vehicle recalled that the queue was so long and it took so much time to be able to purchase the car. The system of privileges led to the system of exchange. The position and the availability of resources is something that is defined by the researcher Berdiere when describing the socialist society. This power of the Lithuanian nomenclature increased the power of the position and helped to create personal good. Certainly we can speak about the imported goods and deficit goods brought from Russia. People working in the apparatus and even lower level apparatus officials had much bigger possibilities of acquiring different goods. And these possibilities also included the ability to visit different countries. Middle-level officials were able to visit other Soviet republics, while high-level officials could visit foreign countries. One of the high-level official recalls of giving a present to his daughter-in-law on her 30th birthday. That was the travel to India. It meant that privileges were obtained not only by the high officials and representatives of the nomenclature, but also by the family members and people who had the ability to acquire different clothing, different food, could be differentiated from other parts of the society. Children of nomenclature representatives could boast of having imported goods from the West, for example, magazines or vinyl plates. Western labels on different goods meant high status of people.
Privačią aplinką kūrė gana rafinuota, formavosi netgi kartais vadinamo gero skonio samprata, kaip turi atrodyti namai, kokie tinkami baldai ir kita buitis.
In reality, the uniformity of the society was opposed in the private lives of nomenclature representatives, and a certain good taste in homes was formed as a feature of the nomenclature. Exceptional consumption meant easy living and ability to get things. And this actually only deepened social differentiation and rejected the idea of egalitarian society.
Juolab, kad manevravimo galimybių įgyjant papildomų privilegijų, kaip minėjau, buvo nemažai, ypač technokratų atveju. Tačiau brandžiojo socializmo laikotarpiu, ypač po 75
metų,
formavosi iš esmės tam laikotarpiu būdinga specifinė visuomenė, kurioje nomenklatūros pabrėždavo
society was formed
netgi ir būtinųjų prekių įsigijimo būdas.
Where the ability to acquire not only special goods was important, but also the acquisition of the basic needs was seen as important.
Dažnai turėjo naudotis pusiau negaliais ar nelegaliais ar visai nelegaliais būdais išnaudoti savo darbinės pozicijas. Ir tinkami pavyzdžiai jau nekartą ataskaitose minėti mėsos kombinatai. Kita vertus, galima paminėti, kad
on the other hand, it could be noted that
toks modelis, apsirūpinimo modelis,
the model
tam tikrų elgesio etalonų
became the code of conduct for other people.
Viena jų buvo susijusi su blato reiškiniu, kuris panašiai kaip ir nomenklatūros socialiniai tinklai žymėjo svarbus ryšius.
The code of conduct related to blood meant the behavior when something could be achieved through the exchange mechanism.
Ir netgi nomenklatūrai nepriklausančių pateikėjų pastebėjimai akivaizdžiai rodo nomenklatūrai būdingų vartojimo modelių susijančių prestižo siekimybę su kitiems suvaržyta prekių ir paslaugų prieiga ir neformalių veikimų, sprendžiant šį klausimą sklaidą visuomenę. Bei pastebint, kad toks modelis labai dažnai atsikartodavo to vadinamo šešėlinį ekonomikai, galima teikti net apie savotišką homo sovietinikus elgsenos modelio atvirtinimą,
the privilege model was very much repeated in the shadow economy, which meant that the heritage of the post-Soviet era was so deep. Thank you very much. This will give us a clue about the Soviet nomenclature and their privileges. And now the last presentation in this session will be made by Dr. Valdemaras Klumbys.